moves have been missed.
He fell flat on my face. It was pure embarrassing.
Physics have been broken.
What the fuck happened there?
The laws of time and space shattered in an instant.
My legs.
Yes, this is entertainment, but the glitches are real. Whoever you are, whatever you do, please don't play this at home.
Hello and welcome everyone, we're back! Finally! I say finally, it's been like, 2 days? But that's not the point. And we've actually got a name now for the company. It is,
oh boy.
parentheses literal, end parentheses, Pro Wrestling Insiders.
That's good. That's good, I like that.
Because it's not like any of us are going anywhere, right?
No, unfortunately we are not.
Now I've got a very special guest joining me today.
Very special. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please welcome a product of, I believe, the Wrestle Factory.
That's right.
Yep. Joshua Wells.
That's me. Joshua Wells, born and raised in New York. Now a Chikara Wrestle Factory graduate, and now a Fire Pro promoter. Fire promoter? Oh, I see. Pro's already in there.
I almost called it. I almost named the company Fire Pro Motion, and like in the style of those like Japanese wrestling companies that will have a name that has
motions
nothing.
in all caps.
Yeah, of course. It's got to be all caps.
No, I like that. That would have been good. But I also like literal Pro Wrestling Insiders. It's very, very apt for what we're doing already.
So, we'll have a quick look at our roster.
Okay.
So we have Andrew Everett.
All right. Yep. Big man.
Because obviously this, we did have a much bigger roster on what I guess you would call the last season.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had to make I decided to just basically keep the core group of people we'd had on as guests and like a handful of others for good measure.
Okay.
Because the roster was getting way too big. And
I love his signature moves. I love the 630, not a coward.
Yeah, I did that at his
wonderful.
request.
That's wonderful. I love that.
We do have a new logo, not Adam. Yes, we are Pro Wrestling Insiders. Literally. We have Brent Carter, who is actually a good friend of mine, who has not debuted yet.
Okay.
He's a trainee here in Scotland under a man called Andy Wilde. And was supposed to make his debut next month, but obviously that won't be happening now.
Does he have any relation to Ben Carter?
No, well, Brent Carter's not his real name, so.
Okay, all right. Because I just found out Ben Carter, who's been kind of making a name for himself in the U.S. recently, is actually originally from the U.K. and I didn't know that before.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, apparently he moved to the U.S. to train at Black and the Brave, Seth Rollins' school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have Debbie Keitel.
Okay, I'm familiar with the name.
Yeah, from OTT and many other companies in Ireland and the UK. Lovely person as well. She was one of our guest promoters. Did pretty well for someone who doesn't even play video games.
Okay.
We have Gene Money.
Familiar with him.
He's a good man and a very funny
The absolute
man.
lad. The absolute lad.
He is. He really, really is.
I love his stuff. He's super entertaining.
And a really, really nice guy as well. Oh, don't worry, Canadian Bird. We have literally only just went live. There was one delay after another, and these things happen.
You're not late at all.
Yeah. If anything, you're right on time.
Mm.
We have Jayla Dark, who recently retired. Retired
okay.
September last year, but I've kept her in because I am very, very biased. Good friend of mine. Wrestled all around the UK, some places in Europe, and Ice Ribbon in Japan.
Okay, awesome.
We have a man I believe you're familiar with, Jody Summers.
Oh my God, this guy! You got this guy in the save. Oh, he's getting the shovel. He's getting the shovel for sure.
No,
I don't think I don't know if he's watching this, but if he is, I hate you, Jody Summers.
Well, he did okay when we had him on.
He's okay. He's an alright guy.
No, Jen, what it was we had...
Double stop pervert.
Yeah, that came from the charity stream that we did a few weeks back.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because
I love that.
For some reason, his character just would not stop doing double stomps off the top.
I'm gonna tell him to put that on a shirt.
Oh, he already knows. Jen, what it was it took me way longer than I thought to like set up the save, and then Josh had to run off and do some things. So, yeah. And also, hello, Feral Honey. I believe I know who you are. Then we have whoever this guy is, Joshua Wells.
Oh yeah, never, not familiar with this guy. Looks like he couldn't out wrestle a broomstick. This guy never gonna be anything in the business. Fun fact, very, very real story. I was once in a promo class, and someone who is no longer associated with Chikara, so I don't want to sound like I'm bad-mouthing anyone.
Yeah.
Told me I'll never be as good of a wrestler as I am a talker, and he's probably right. But that's how I feel about this guy on screen right now. Let's move right along.
We have Krieger, relatively new-ish, last couple of years, Scottish wrestler. One half of a tag team with the man below him, Looking Sharp.
Okay.
They team throughout Scotland and some other countries in Europe.
Do they have a tag team name?
Depends where they're wrestling. So if they're in ICW, it's the Fight Network, and it's part of like a team along with Kid Fight, who is also the man that trained them. He, as well as having trained the likes of Noam Dar and Kaylee Ray as well.
Okay.
So yeah, they came from that school. Whereas everywhere else they wrestle as Pure Dead Brilliant.
Alright.
We have Lily Faye, a Dutch wrestler based out of New Zealand.
I feel like I've seen a match, or I've heard the name at least.
Yeah, she's active on Twitter. Cool woman. Her husband.
Okay, yeah.
Her husband,
I do follow
Michael,
her on Twitter.
Her husband Michael runs a new company in New Zealand called Heathen Combat. So he was one of our guest promoters one day, and like she poked her head in a few times as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
We have Manlin, local wrestler, trained at the Source Wrestling School. Good man.
Right.
Loves a good brawl, so he does.
All right.
We have Piper Niven.
Of course.
One of my favourite people in the world. Love her to bits. I feel she's one of the people that doesn't really need much of an explanation.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with Piper Niven.
Yeah, same with this man, Rusev.
I don't know about this guy. I mean, who's he ever worked for? Who's he ever beat?
Well, in the last series, we put him in a death match with Vince.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Sarah Marie Taylor, veteran of the Scottish scene.
Okay.
Took a few years out because basically had a child, but
congratulations to her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. But lovely person as well, and I would say much like Jayla Dark, very underappreciated, even in Scotland.
Okay.
Another one I don't feel needs an explanation. Rosemary.
Of course.
Probably, I would say, along with probably Piper and Rusev, biggest name on the list.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
We have NL Slip.
Oh my, we have NL guys in here.
Yep. It was because
Oh,
Johnny.
I just saw the other name. I just saw the other one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because Johnny came in to help us out with the charity stream, so I put him in a match with Dakota Kai for a laugh.
Hold on. I'm texting him right now.
Oh, really?
I'm going to. I'm going to say, hey, bud, about to make sure you get buried on Twitch. Alright. We'll see if he responds. But yeah, I'm familiar with the NL guys.
Yeah. We have Amy Alonzi, another young Irish wrestler, lovely girl.
I've at least heard of her. I think I've seen a match or two.
Oh, she's great. She's really, really lovely as well.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for Emily Hayden, another local wrestler, champion of a couple of companies here in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, not Adam, Sarah Marie Taylor came out of retirement about a year ago. We have this guy.
This guy. What's his... Of course his creator wrestler just kind of looks like him and Nick Gage put together.
Yep.
The headband is very accurate, though. He kind of looks like Guido.
That's actually the Gado headband from the game.
Yeah, I figured. Shug D.
Yeah, this is because that's one of our free stables at the moment, carried on from the last one, are the face paint perverts. The original,
Okay.
the original incarnation, it was created by Rosemary. The original incarnation was basically just everyone we signed that wears face paint.
Okay. Fair.
But they're the only two left, and we have the toaster perverts.
Okay.
Going back to the argument about toaster ovens Johnny and Amy Alonzi had on the charity stream that lasted about 3/4 of an hour.
What was the debate? How much is there to debate about toaster ovens?
Amy Alonzi had never heard of toaster ovens.
So she was just debating their existence?
No, it's like Johnny was trying to explain to her what they are, and she wasn't quite getting it.
Okay.
And then they started arguing about the overdrive, and I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
So, and our first stable, the Wakanda Dynasty, created by Sugar Dunkerton, Shug D.
Nice. I love it.
Which is himself, Aisha Raymond, who some of you might remember from the Mae Young Classic.
Did she compete under that name in the Mae Young Classic?
Yes. I think it was the second one she was in.
Ah, okay.
And the third member, Jam O'Malley,
Alright.
who's another local fellow. Basically both Shug and Aisha demanded he be the faction's token white guy. So
Alright.
no deathmatch Vince, because WWE are back up and running in this save. Yeah, WWE went out of business in the last save, so... Oh, and with that, actually, now that I remember, since you're our first guest of the sort of, I guess, new series, Josh, would you like to start a stable of your own?
Ooh, this is tempting. Sure. Let's do it. Let's start a stable.
All right. Do you have a name in mind?
Let's be the Clout Chasers.
I like it. I'll need to make a logo for them as well.
I'm just going to align myself with all of the people who, just all the people who have Twitter clout but may not actually be good wrestlers like me.
Alright, so you have that's the people you have the choice of: Everett, Carter, Debbie, Jean, Jayla, Jody.
Let's get me, Jody, and Andrew Everett.
So Everett won't be restarting his last stable from the last one then.
Oh, what was that?
The cool guy's heels.
Cool. I love it.
Which was him. Oh, who was it again? It was him, Mance Warner, John Morrison,
Okay.
and who's the other one? I don't remember. NL Slip, actually, yeah. But then he left to join the face paint perverts, so we replaced him with Grado.
Okay. Also, I just realized with the way I described the stable, I might have just implied Andrew Everett isn't a good wrestler. He is. I just want to go on record.
He very much is.
I don't think Andrew Everett is not a great wrestler. He's just really good at Twitter, and that's why I put him with me and Jody. Okay, let's see.
So
free agents.
Yeah, we've got like companies as well that you can invite people from.
Oh, let's start with Chikara. I just saw that was a section.
Okay, so this it's quite a weird roster because I've got for it.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of old and new.
Mhm. Okay. Let's see. I mean, let's get Quack. Trying to see who else is there that
You're the first person to successfully invite him, by the way. Everyone else who tried to get him in the last one, he said no.
What can I say? I mean, you know, he can't say no to his student, right? He picked me for his Cybernetico team like a week ago. Like, of course he's gonna say yes to me.
That's a fair point.
Let's see. Let's get Fire Ant. Let's see if we can get Fire Ant. I don't wanna take too many from Chikara, but let's see. Cool. All right, we got Quack and Fire Ant. I'm keeping notes here so I don't forget.
Yeah.
And I can kind of think of ideas as I go. Let's also get Kimberly. I just watched Kimberly wrestle Alley Cat from an old Nova Pro show earlier today, and that was a very fun match. So let's get Kimberly in.
I want to say as well, Molly McCoy's in, but I forgot to put her on the Chikara roster. So
yeah, let's get Molly McCoy.
Oh, she said no.
I love it. That's so funny.
Also, for people who watched the last series, you'll notice I've finally got round to tidying up the Larry Sweeney that we have in the game.
Oh, that looks very good. 12 large. That just passed the other day. So, let's see if we can get Chris Hero. I'm very excited for all the possible Chris Hero matches.
He's knocked us back. Oh, it might be trickier to get some of the free agents because this Save is classed as a company that's just started up.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just basically I used a slight cheat to make some of the companies like us so they'll loan us their people.
I see. Let's see if we can get anyone. Let's ask Alley Cat.
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. What are the other companies that we have as options?
So we have Pro Wrestling Eve, Chikara, OTT, Noah, DDT, Dragon Gate, GCW, CMLL, All Japan, Stardom, Impact, AAA, Ring of Honor, AEW, New Japan, and WWE.
I think I saw Addy Star under Pro Wrestling Eve.
You would have, yeah.
Let's try that.
Nope.
Jeez, no one wants to work with me except for Quack apparently. This might end up just being a Chikara show. Let's see.
Oh, also, just want to publicly put this out there right now. Raven Creed there has, as of last night or / this morning, has agreed to be a guest booker at some point.
Hey, nice. Let's can we try to get more than hype?
Sure. Right, LJ's in.
All right.
Darren's in.
Okay, I'm starting to get some ideas.
More than hype are in.
I've got some ideas already. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's. No, you can move on from OTT. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm just like browsing through these other rosters as we flip through them. I don't know why it's funny to me that Trip Cassidy's under GCW. Has he ever worked there?
I don't know.
I don't know if he has. Ooh, can we try to get Mayu from Stardom?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay. I'm like frantically writing notes about my ideas. Let's. Is it AZM? Do you just say the letters, or I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't know. Like I love her matches, but I don't know how to pronounce the name.
I'm just going to call her Asm.
Asm, okay. Let's keep going.
Impact.
Let's see, who's we have on Impact? I cannot remember the last time I've watched an Impact show, if ever. So I'm not familiar with the roster. I might come back to it. I might come back to it.
One. We've got AAA. We've got Ring
is Spider Kid in AAA?
Good question.
Or CMLL? Spider Kid's one luchador who I've been like following a lot and who I think is very talented, but I don't know if he would be in this anywhere in here. He might not.
I'm not seeing him.
That's fine.
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
Probably quite an outdated roster, but...
Oh, I see Alex Shelley. Let's go for Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley's in.
The little pop-up that was like, we don't have a great relationship with them, you know, had me worried, but that's good. Let's see if we can get Karen Q. I like Karen Q.
She's in.
All right. Can we real quick go back to Chikara and try to get Silver Ant, and I think Soldier Ant was the other one who was there?
Silver.
Yeah, Silver and Soldier. No offense to Green and Thief, but I've got an idea, and I prefer the classic colony. All right. How likely are we to get people from AEW and WWE? I feel like that's kind of like a far gone.
Well, I've greased them up a wee bit, so.
Okay, all right. Then I'm gonna go for my man Cesaro. Okay.
He's in.
Sweet. And oh, just for my own, just so I know. We can do intergender in Fire Promoter.
Yes,
no?
we can.
Okay, cool.
The only thing, just as a heads up, one thing that Fire Promoter does not have is like multi-person matches in the sense of like, you know, triple threats or four-ways.
Okay.
It's just all like 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, or 4-on-4.
Okay, so gotcha. All right. That's perfectly fine.
There's a thing in it. There's a thing in the match options called mixed, but that's for handicap matches, basically.
Okay. Let's try and get. Let's go for Daniel Bryan.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't want to take too many from WWE, but I'll go for my favorites.
Daniel Bryan.
No.
Apparently he's too over.
You know, they're not wrong.
No.
Let's go for Ruby Riott then.
Yeah. Oh, I'm done with Shikara names. Fair City Hooligan, you have not missed much at all. We're just like picking out people to be on the show. We ended up going live a lot later than we intended.
Yeah. Just a bunch of unforeseen circumstances.
Alright, bring it back up.
Let's try. Let's go to GCW and try to get Nick Gage, the man, the king, the god.
He's in.
Sweet. Okay. I like that. Let's go. Let's check out AEW. Let's try to get. Oh, Chris Statlander. I love me some Chris Statlander.
Hell yeah.
And
yes, Hooligan. The
Oh,
reset
Big
has
Swole.
happened.
I love Big Swole.
He's in.
And you know what? The chat's got a point. Got to go for freshly squeezed. You know, I've said no more Chikara, but
But that was a lie.
who doesn't? Who doesn't love Orange Cassidy though?
There we go.
All right, and all right, I'm gonna go for one more, and then how many people do we really need to?
Well, you can have up to 10 matches.
Okay. All right, so let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3. Let's go for Shibata.
He's in.
Satisfying. So satisfying hearing that sound.
Oh, I know. It's one that we've all had. Is that it for you, or?
I'm like looking over my notes. I'm trying to see if there's like crossing out names, trying to see who I still have left that I don't have something for. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We didn't get Addie Star, did we?
No, she said no.
Okay. I think maybe I do need a few more people then. Actually, wait, no, maybe I don't. Do we have Xavier?
What company would he be under, if any?
If not Chikara, then maybe just free agent.
I don't think we do. No.
Well, that's fine.
Have a look at the free agents. By the way, so like the ones at the top here, most of them at least, are either ones I've made myself or ones that I've downloaded and tidied up a little bit.
Okay.
So like, I mean, the Lufisto before looked very basic, right? How about this shit, eh?
That's very good. A lot of these are like scary, like accurate.
And we got like all these names down the bottom here too.
Actually, okay. I think I've got everything. I think I've figured it out.
All right, so we're good then.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's hook us an event.
All right.
Right, okay. So how are we opening this shebang?
All right, I think we're gonna open up with Jody Summers against Gene Money.
I like it.
I think that would be a very fun match. As much as I enjoy bullying Jody, he's very entertaining. Gene Money's very entertaining. I would be very excited to see what they do together. So I think that would be a fine opening match.
I'm inclined to agree.
And, since that would be like a fun, lighthearted opener, I think we would immediately contrast that with pure violence.
Okay.
So, I think we're going to go Nick Gage. Against Manlin. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yep.
Just a classic brawl.
Just want to quickly check something. So, all right.
After that, let's make a tag team match.
Regular tag team match.
Yes.
All right.
And we're gonna go the Toaster Perverts, Johnny and Amy Alonzi.
Oh, hey T Gray, how you doing? I still need to fix that. But I tried to make for Johnny like like an alternate attire with like a New Legs Yank shirt, but it's the logo's like slightly off center.
Ah, yeah, I getcha.
All right.
And they're up against the Wakanda Dynasty, Shug D and Aisha.
Ah, they were our tag team champions in the last run.
Well, they're coming back. They're making a comeback.
They were the winners of the tag team tournament that Shug booked.
Okay, I dig that.
The Teddy Long Invitational.
Okay. All right, then we're gonna go. Oh wait.
No belts yet, not Adam.
I think then we're gonna do a match between Big Swole. And Sarah Marie Taylor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then to close out that first half of the show, we'll do a tag team match.
2-on-2.
Yep, 2-on-2.
All right.
Saving a big trios match for later.
Okay.
So the tag team match will be myself and Andrew Everett, the Clout Chasers. I love that attire. Against Krieger and Sharp.
Ah.
Trying to show some love to the Pro Wrestling Insiders. I don't want to forget about them. Even though most of the later half of the show is just gonna be me booking whatever I want.
No worries. Also, Jordan in the chat, you just saw that your message there. I'll talk to you later about that. Okay.
All right.
So, second half of the show.
So then, all right, we're gonna come back with what do I want to start with? Let's start with Mayu Iwatani and Kimberly.
Oh.
if this has happened since Kimberly has left the WWE and anyone knows, please let me know. I would love to see this match. I don't know if it's happened anywhere, but I would love to watch it. And then, yeah, then we'll do a trios match.
Right, so I think I know what this is going to be, but
I'm sure you can figure it out. It's going to be the Colony versus More Than Hype.
God damn.
That's
a match.
That's a match. That's a match. Granted, it would be a different iteration of the Colony, but I mean, King of Trios, it's a tournament for matches like this.
I mean, I'd watch the hell out of that.
It would be amazing.
Oh, no. Alright, how are we following that?
I think the next two matches are going to do their best. Next is going to be a singles between Mike Quackenbush
and
Alex Kinley.
Sorry?
I know that's a match Mike himself really wants. Although I don't know.
Who was it, sorry?
Oh, Alex Shelley.
Alright.
I just realized there's definitely going to be people that I just forgot to
Yep.
forgot to use. And then the last match I have written down is Cesaro versus Katsuyori Shibata.
Holy shit.
I don't know if I can top that, so I feel like that has to be the last one. There are definitely a bunch of people I signed who I didn't use, but...
Yeah, you still got Ruby Riott, Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy, Karen
Oh,
Hewitt, and AJ.
Ruby Riott and Chris Statlander, let's do that. That sounds awesome.
So that's the main event. Or is Cesaro Shibata the main event?
Let's do Cesaro Shibata the main event. Because I don't know if I can think of a match I would love to watch more in the world.
Yeah.
Shibata is my favorite wrestler of all time. Cesaro is up there, if not. I don't know if he's number 2, but like I can't think of a single time I've watched a Cesaro match that I didn't like. I think that match would be phenomenal. And it's a shame it won't be a possibility.
Right, so make sure the teams are coming out together.
All right. How did I do, Chet? Would you pay money to come see this show? I mean, I don't think anyone would pay money to see John Blood wrestle, but aside from that.
I don't know, I think you're selling the man short there.
He actually would probably make a lot of money if he wrestled. Like, there's no way like a bunch of NL fans wouldn't go out to see John Blood's debut. But I mean, I don't know. I think this is a pretty fire card.
I think it's a pretty fire pro card.
I was just trying to think like I was gonna say like I'm a pretty fire promoter if I do say so myself. I like that the referee's name is Mr. Judgment. Big fan.
Oh yeah, he's the sort of generic default ref.
You'd buy it for $1. I feel like the tickets would be worth more than $1. But
So like,
maybe it's a Patreon deal.
with
Pay
the
what you
referee selection, as well as the generic made-up ones, You have like it gives you like a random selection of the referees you have in the game.
Okay.
So for that we have Jarek Nowak, who is a Polish referee who referees for some of the locals. We have Aubrey Edwards.
Of course.
And we have
Girl Hebner.
And we have Eddie Sideburns.
I know the name from Twitter.
Yeah. He is actually a former ref. He used to wrestle for ICW and PBW and a bunch of the companies over here.
Okay.
So who you want?
Let's get Aubrey Edwards. I'm a big fan of Aubrey Edwards.
Yeah. She's like one of my dream sort of bookers for these streams. So.
Oh, I'm sure she'd be great at it. I'm sure she'd be down to do it too.
Yeah.
She does. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if it's like a podcast or like a vlog, but she does a series where she films it in her car, like while driving with wrestlers to shows.
Right.
Yeah, I think she's super funny, super entertaining.
I'm going to loan out a bunch of other wrestlers, just so that or try and loan out other wrestlers, just so that they're doing something this month, because
of course,
it does help out their stats and what have you.
Apologies for all the people I maybe didn't use. I didn't use Rusev. Oh, I feel terrible.
You didn't use Viper.
I didn't use Viper.
Or Rosemary.
I feel terrible now.
You're like two of the most over people we have.
I think Rosemary's very talented, but I think she slips my mind a lot because I think she got a lot of her fans in like Impact, right? And I've never really been an Impact person, like as a fan. I don't know why. Like, just like when it was TNA, now that it's Impact, it's not something I watch a lot of.
It's been very hit and miss lately. Like there has been, the good bits are very good, but there's some kind of meh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. When I first got into wrestling, the first wrestling match I ever saw was Colin Delaney versus The Miz and John Morrison on ECW on Sci-Fi.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Don't know why I kept watching. And then I think I watched that episode of ECW, and then later that week I saw Impact. I vaguely remember seeing a segment with I think Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle.
Right. Oh, was that with the one with the headbutt?
It might have been. Whatever was on Impact that week. But I saw that and I was like, this seems cool, and then I just never watched it again. And it wasn't intentional. I don't know. Impact was never my thing.
Lately, it's been I mean, the Rosemary segments are always good.
I'm sure.
And it has mainly been segments because she's had quite a few injuries the last wee while. So she's been in a lot of sort of character segments and stuff, but they're always fantastic. They've got her and Taya Valkyrie doing a sort of odd couple kind of thing, but they're both so good at it.
Mm.
But there's other stuff where I'm kind of as well. Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a ton of talented people. I know for a fact.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's always been the case. Mm.
Yeah, exactly. They had the Motor City Machine Guns at their peak, and I've just now been going back to watch a lot of their stuff from Impact because I feel like I totally missed out on some great tag team stuff.
Yeah. Here's your boy.
Oh my gosh. Forgot that he uses his music. Look at him. Double stomp pervert. Jode, I'm texting him to put that on a shirt.
I'm sure he will.
Absolutely has to. Oh, I'm sure he will, yeah. Please put double stomp pervert on a t-shirt.
You coward.
Oh yeah, you coward. There we go. And Gene Money. Give Jody like 2 or 3 years, and like this could happen on like a Schadenfreude and Friends show.
Oh God, yeah. I would absolutely like watch. So who you got for this match, chat?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how people would go on this. I think it might bias towards Gene Money because maybe, I mean, I guess if Jody was a guest, then it'll probably be fine.
They both have been.
Oh, good point. Right, because the roster is all guests. Yeah.
Gene was actually the first one we had.
Okay.
And we do have like a leaderboard as well.
Jody, because he said I was funny the other day. That's a good reason to vote for Jody. What? So how do you determine the leaderboard?
So each match gets rated in terms of percent.
By the game, or
by the game.
Okay.
Based on the kind of stuff you'd expect. Like how back and forth it is, near falls, like big moves, that kind of thing. And
okay.
Each match will give you a percentage. And then at the end of the show, it'll give you like a show rating, which is basically just like the average match rating.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so Jody is. Oh wait, just realised I've messed up the formatting of that, but so like Jody is joint 18th place.
Out of a total of
23.
Oh, come on, Jody, he could have done better than that.
I will point out that an extremely high standard has been set.
Okay. Who's number one?
Number one is actually one of the few people who's not a wrestler or wrestling person who's done it.
Oh, okay.
So it was my friend Maya did that.
Okay.
I had her on when we had Viper on. And,
all right.
Basically because Maya had been going through a bit of a rough time with it. And Viper is one of her favourite wrestlers, and I wanted to try and lift her spirits a bit, and Maya streams with me a lot anyway, so brought her in.
That's awesome. I hope she's doing better now.
Yeah, she is, yeah. But
that's good.
What we did was we let her book a show herself as like a pre-show thing and ran all the matches at Benny Hill speed.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up scoring higher than any... yes,
okay.
Tigray, the ref is Aubrey. So Maya scored a match average of 97.1%.
Wow!
And only...
So she just exclusively bangers.
Yeah. And only one person since has topped that score, and I didn't count it on the leaderboard because it was me.
Okay.
I mean, the bottom rated one, number 23, was Lou and Krieger when they were on. With 77.6 as the average.
Alright. So that's a pretty huge range there.
Yeah.
What were some of the notable matches that Jody booked when he was on?
I can't even remember. I'm getting all of them mixed up now, you see. I know he booked the bear.
Okay.
Because we had a bear on the roster in the last one. Because, like, pretty much everybody booked the bear. Also...
well, why wouldn't you if you had access to a bear?
Also, thank you, Vindictive, for the follow. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my friend there. It's my friend Brutus. Hi, Brutus. Thanks for watching.
The top-rated wrestler was Shrew.
Okay.
With 96.6.
What place is he over? Okay. That's pretty good.
He was second. He was literally top for like a day, and then the following day was the one with like Maya and Viper.
Oh, poor Shug. I mean, hey, he's doing some great stuff in AEW now, so more power to him.
The only like non-wrestling people I've had on it were Maya, my friend Mark, and Sony-san off Twitter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He came 10th.
He's doing it. I thought the double stomp pervert was doing his thing.
And Kate Foray, Make It Loud.
Okay, yeah.
I
have a funny thing about Kate Foray, and she may not even know.
Okay.
before I started training to wrestle, and like before I had like any idea of like what was acceptable at like what point in your training, I had commissioned K4A to design a set of gear for me, and I got it made. But like I'm never gonna use it now because it's for like a character that like is not what I'm doing.
Right. Okay.
Granted, like I'm just me now, but like I had like a whole character in mind before I started training, and K4A designed gear for it, and I have it. I'm just never. It's just gonna sit in the closet forever, and I feel terrible about it.
You should wear
But
it
she
for
did
like
a wonderful
one-off.
job. I might, maybe for like if there's like some kind of show that warrants it.
I want to have Kate back on. She was a delight.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
That's the thing. Like pretty much everyone who's like been on is also like totally welcome back as well. Because again, we're all stuck inside, and I'm
Exactly.
trying to do this for a bit of fun. You know, like since none of us have wrestling right now.
The Double Stomp Pervert name is he's really living up to it. I think he's done 4 so far in this match. And likewise, G Money I think has punched below the belt an equal amount of times.
Oh, Jody gets the win.
Oh wow! Good job, Jody. The Double Stomp Pervert tactics paid off. Well done.
84%, so that's a solid opener.
All right. That's a good start. Hopefully it's up from there. You know, if that's the opener, you know, ideally, it's going to keep going up from there. Got to build. I'm excited to see this brawl. You got Megalovania in this game?
Yeah, you can put your own custom music in. So.
Oh.
And
I'm definitely going to request Megalovania later.
Sure. Like literally all the music I have for like running in the background of matches is like stuff from other games, or like music from like 80s cartoons or stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, I love you, Manlin, but you're probably going to die here. He's like, Manlin's a skinny boy.
He is. I mean, Nick Gage isn't like huge.
No, I mean...
Like, not that he isn't terrifying, but...
No, I mean, like, Manlin's about the same size as Jody. Like, in real life.
Oh, dear.
Like, he's got the same... He's about the same height. They've got, like, the same build as well.
I guess this is maybe a good time to... I do have a Nick Gage story.
Oh?
So, Nick Gage was part of Team Beyond in the Chikara Cibernetico 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember everyone flipping out about Nick Gage getting booked for Chikara.
Yeah, everyone thought it was going to go terribly, and he actually didn't. You know, I don't think anything went wrong. But so the same night as that Chikara event, there was a GCW event that he had to get to, and that GCW event was on my way home.
Right.
So Nick Gage needed a ride to GCW, and I was like, hey, if he needs a ride, I don't mind driving him. And so after the event, a bunch of Chikara fans saw me and Nick Gage leaving together.
Right.
So, you know, that was something. Some people sent me some tweets about that. But then, so, you know, we get to the building, and as we're, like, looking for parking, he asks, hey kid, you gonna come into the show? And I was like, oh, I mean, I wasn't planning on it. Like, I don't have a ticket or anything. And, you know, like, I'm already on my way home anyway. And he was like, no, you're coming in. You're staying for the show. It's going to be great. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. All right, whatever you say. So we park my car, and we walk up to the venue. And I guess they had just opened doors, so, like, the line's just starting to be let in. And so like there's this line of GCW fans who are just starting to get into the building. They see Nick Gage and they go crazy, right?
Right, yeah.
And Nick Gage walks up to like the security guard at the door, and he smacks him on the chest and goes, "This kid, he's with me. He's MDK, gang affiliated." Like he's doing the whole thing, and I'm just standing there like this scrawny, nerdy white kid, just being like, "Me?" And I think if I remember correctly, like I step inside and Johnny is like right there, and he's like, "Dude, did Nick Gage just get you into the show?"
I imagine Johnny would have been marking out about that because he loves Nick Gage.
I think he was. Oh yeah, he for sure was marking out for Nick Gage, but then I think he saw me and he was just like in disbelief. Because me and Johnny, like around that time especially, we like hung out a lot. So
Right.
I haven't seen him much like recently. But... Of course, Johnny's gang affiliated to Razor. The only time I ever see Johnny anymore is at GCW shows. So I always see him and Nick Gage at the same time.
I'm trying desperately to get Johnny in to do one of these.
I'm
But
sure he would.
it's just 'cause he's like obviously with nothing on, he's been doing a lot of like NL stuff. So, but because I mean having him on for the charity stream was a blast, and I would love to have him back. It's just trying to get the scheduling right and shit.
Of course. I'm sure he's having a hard time right now because I'm pretty sure he's classified as an essential worker.
No, he's home now.
Okay.
By like his own volition.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I wasn't. I know what he does. I don't know if he's public about that, so I'm not gonna out him if he isn't.
All I know is it's some kind of like a distribution center or something. That's like all he's really said. Like,
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna like out it any more than that.
Yeah,
But,
of course.
From what I know, I thought it would be classified as essential. But if he's staying home, then good. I hope he's healthy.
I know Slip was worried because he's not well, but he was like worried he had it. It turns out it's actually pneumonia Slip has.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's frightening.
He only told us like last night. He was in like when Rosemary was streaming. He was in the chat, and yeah, he's got that. So, Slip,
I hope he
if you're out there, mate.
gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but best wishes to you.
Yeah, totally.
Hope you heal up soon. Also, LT Gray, thank you very much for the follow on Twitter. It's very much appreciated.
And Nick Gage gets the win. I mean, no shame there.
I mean, yeah, there's never any shame in losing to Nick Gage.
And Nick Gage being the bad guy, refusing to release the pin.
He wants everyone to know that, he's the man, he's the king.
Yeah, so 76, probably because it was a bit more one-sided than the opener.
Yeah. I think a Nick Gage W and hopefully a resilient showing from Manlin. I think that's worth it. With some of these later matches, like I'm gonna keep saying I hope it goes up from here.
Here we go, the tag team match time.
Now, if Johnny Blood wins this match, I will retire from professional wrestling.
Okay, so
Once quarantine ends, no more.
On the last save, we ended up, because it does like a show a month basically,
Okay.
and we ended up getting, I think it was about 5.5 years in, and in the entirety of the time he was with us, Johnny only lost 2 singles matches.
Well, I'm sticking to my word.
And those were against, one of them was against NL Slip,
Okay.
and the other one was against the Bear.
Well, Shug D and Aisha Raymond have the strength of a bear in my eyes.
That's true. I mean, like they held the tag team champions in game for like years.
Exactly. So the immovable force, the immovable object beats the irresistible force. That's the thing.
So, also, I don't know if you're ready for Johnny's entrance music.
Oh no. I'm excited. Amazing.
Oh, and wait till you hear the audio clips I've assigned to him in the game.
Love it. Gosh.
When my mate Rep first saw that, he legitimately thought I'd like managed to mod Johnny sounds into the game.
It sounds just like him.
Shug's entrance takes a long time just because I really like his theme.
Is this the action? Is this what he uses in real life as a theme?
Yes.
I don't know that I've ever seen an entrance of his. I mean, yeah, I don't even know if he had an entrance on AEW for those matches he did. Did he?
He did, but
No,
it
he
was
did,
just
he
like
did.
generic sort of
Yeah, it was like stock music.
music.
Yeah.
This is what he was, at least what he was using when he was based in the UK.
There's like a lot of UK stuff that I've only seen like limited pieces of, just because I don't know if it's not as accessible or if I just don't know.
You owe it to yourself to watch Shug's matches with Gene Money.
Okay.
The first of which is a zombie lumberjack match.
A zombie lumberjack match.
Exactly what it sounds like.
I I don't know what else I would expect from a zombie lumberjack match than just that. Was that like a Halloween themed show or something?
Yes, it was
Okay.
Discovery Wrestling, who are like my local one. It was their
Okay.
Halloween show a couple of years ago, and them two in a zombie lumberjack match, and you know those like they'd hired a bunch of like the people from you get those like live zombie experience things.
Oh yeah.
They hired like a bunch of the people who are like the zombies at those to like be the lumberjacks on the
Wow.
outside, and it's like
Okay.
whoever gets bitten and turned loses kind of thing.
I love that.
Featured
That sounds awesome.
the incredible visual at one point of Gene trying to force Shug out of the ring into them at gunpoint.
I love that. Is that on YouTube or?
Yes it is.
Okay. I'm putting that down in my notes.
Yeah, I don't know if Feral Honey is still in the chat, but she'll be popping for Amy Alonzi in this match.
I've heard a lot of good things about Alonzi.
Oh, she's great. She's like another one who's like really young as well. She's still only like I think like 19 or 20.
Where does she mainly work?
Like basically OTT and a lot of the other Irish companies.
Okay.
Also Fierce Females based out of Glasgow.
Okay.
And I think there's a couple of companies down in England she's worked for as well.
All right. The last like UK match that I've really like gone out of my way for was Quack and Tyler Bate from Fight Club Pro
right,
2 or 3 months ago, which was phenomenal.
I mean, I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, not just to sing like the praises of my trainer, but just it was. I thought like I don't know if it's just me, but I have a hard time sometimes when I watch wrestling, identifying like the story. Like
Right.
unless it's like very like clearly, unless it's like super like overly clearly defined, I can have a hard time like noticing like certain patterns, I guess.
Yeah.
But I thought they did like a very good job of like not like of being able to tell a really cohesive and really clear story by doing very little.
Right.
And yeah, it was just super phenomenal match. If you're able to seek it out, I think it's on Fight Club Pro's streaming service. I don't know if it's a Pivot Share or not. No, it might be Vimeo.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But anyone in the chat or whatever watching who has not seen it, I highly recommend it. Also, another show I watched recently, I guess from the UK, was one of the Attack Pro press start events.
Oh, they're always fun.
Those are a lot of fun. Yeah. It was the one that had Tyler and Pete dressed as each other for the match.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a match.
And there's some other great stuff on there too.
There's a match from one of those shows on YouTube, which I always love going back to, and it's the sadly no longer with us Chris Travis against Martin Kirby.
Okay.
But
and Martin just retired too, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis, I don't know if you're familiar with Chris Travis.
Yeah, I'm aware of Chris Travis.
So like,
it's awful what happened.
It was them two, and Kirby is dressed up as Kirby, obviously.
Oh, the game character.
Yes. And,
I think I actually might have seen this.
Yeah, and,
now that you say it, he's like painted pink, right?
Yes. And Trav comes out like as Luigi.
Yes. Okay, I have seen this.
And like, basically he's not dropping character at all. Like, it's me, I'm Luigi. Like throughout the entire thing, and like, Kirby's just constantly cracking up laughing. That's like the best. Oh, totally.
Like, yeah, when you can tell like they're having just as much fun as you are watching it. Like, I think that's why people like really latch on to Orange Cassidy.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean,
like on Revolution with the match with Pac.
That's just what I was about to mention. Yeah.
Yeah. That moment where Pac looks at him and he just starts cracking up, like that's such a genuine like moment.
And I think Pac was the perfect opponent for him because he had
absolutely.
He had the right balance of like leaning into the joke and being what the hell is this kind of.
Yeah. He's like the perfect like foil for Orange Cassidy.
Oh, totally.
Especially for like an audience who may not be exposed to something like as gimmicky as Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was like the perfect way to introduce him. Johnny.
That is Johnny.
He's taking a sickle. Getting blood all over this perfectly good Pro Wrestling Insiders ring.
I mean, it is Johnny. I was going to try and do a custom map, but I ran out of time.
It is what it is.
Like, ordinarily, in promoter mode, you can't use custom mats and stuff, but you can with the mods. Because promoter mode, it generally just gives you this, like, basic looking ring. And as you progress and do better and better, it adds, like, sponsors and stuff to it.
Okay.
Kind of like in the style of, like, the New Japan ring. Can Big Matt James do it?
I hope Johnny's gonna pay for a new mat with his NL Stream donation money.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean they're doing very well with that right now.
Make sure you get that receipt from him.
I love Johnny, that's so.
Oh, he's the best. Like genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh, totally. Like him and Amy really hit it off during the stream, and they were like, I mean they were arguing, but like the same way him and Dakota Kai argue.
Yeah.
And it was just like hilarious. That's where the Toaster Perverts faction name came from. Because like Johnny at one point was like, "Shut up, you toast pervert," and it just stuck.
Yeah, that sounds like something he'd say. There used to be a Denny's that we would go out to, not super far from the Wrestle Factory. Like, we'd hang out and like go to a show or whatever, and it was me, him, and someone I was dating at the time. We would go to this Denny's, and I don't know why, but we just had this like running joke about like the waitress would be being into Johnny. Like wherever we went out to eat, we would just always joke like, hey man, I think she's into you." And, like he would just say like the most ridiculous things. Like He's got such a great sense of humor.
Oh,
I love hanging out. I love hanging out and talking with him. He really is just like letting Wakanda Dynasty go to town on Amy that right now, though.
That sounds like him. It's because she was trying to defend the overdrive to him.
Was she actually? Was that the argument?
Yes.
What was her defense of the overdrive?
I can't remember exactly, but something like it's like a whiplash effect, just done in a kind of convoluted way.
I can see that. I have a friend wrestles in Australia. His name is Ultra Love Jet Steel. I got to go to Australia and have a match with him. Oh, he's phenomenal. You should see if he would want to do this. He might be interested. But he's a wonderful guy. But his submission finish is the Triangle Lancer, if you're familiar with it.
Oh yeah.
The Chikara special without the leg, basically.
Yeah.
And for a while, I was trying to convince him to use the overdrive to like set it up, if it was possible. Like, I was like, this is the only time like the overdrive would really like be a justified move. Also, who just won?
Aisha pinned Johnny.
Yes! Perfect! I don't have to retire now.
100%.
Thank you. And it's got 100%!
That's a thing, like, those four in this game have been consistently producing bangers.
And I get to keep my career in wrestling, so, you know, I'm not complaining.
Next up, Big Swole versus Sarah Marie Taylor.
This sounds like it'd be great. I think Big Swole's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I would say Sarah's strength is like kind of like what we were talking about with the pack stuff. Like her strong suit is reacting to things. Like she'd be a great opponent for like an Orange Cassidy type character because she's really good with like facial expressions and body language and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think two people I've like noticed in America who do that really well right now. Molly McCoy is very good at that. Like this year at King of Trios, the night 2 main event was Dasher and Boomer Hatfield with Molly McCoy against the Colony.
Right.
And the Colony won, and Molly afterwards kind of like let out all this like pent up frustration at Boomer, and it was like one of the most emotional things I've ever seen at a wrestling event.
Oh wow!
Like it was so real that like just watching it, I was like tearing up because like it was just like incredibly genuine, and like even like Molly came back through the curtain and was like still like in tears, like she had to like pull so much like real emotion out of herself for that. Like it's so like some of the I don't like using the word acting when I talk about wrestling a whole lot, but like it is some of the best acting I've ever seen in wrestling. And I think like a big part because it drew so much from like very real personal experience.
Right.
But it was fantastic.
I've not seen a huge amount of Molly, but I have liked what I've seen.
She's really, really great. Like I think there's a lot of tendency, like I don't want to sound like I'm like generalizing, but I do think there are tendencies by promoters to kind of, or like promoters or trainers to kind of rush women through the system sometimes. Like,
right.
Because I don't know if it's out of like some promoters have this like sense of obligation that they have to have women's matches, which they do, but I think sometimes it comes at like the expense of like the younger talent.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of young women get thrust into a position like that they may not be ready for, instead of a promoter like putting out the extra money to get like talented women who are like ready to put on that kind of event.
Yeah.
And not to say that those like I don't want to sound like I'm saying like those younger women shouldn't get like chances,
Oh yeah.
because obviously they should.
I know what
but,
you're saying.
you know,
yeah.
Yeah. I still want. I don't want to be misinterpreted or like offend anyone. But so I think a lot of the times I see like relatively inexperienced like female wrestlers who like I can tell like they're being thrust into a position that they don't feel ready for. And I think like Molly is like a case where like she has been put in like a lot of positions that are like very like demanding of her as a young performer, and she like always lives up to it.
And that's great. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
like
some are quicker learners than others, and again, I'm not
for sure. Everyone moves at a
anybody.
different pace. Exactly. Yeah, everyone moves at a different pace, and I think like one of the benefits of like the Chikara system from like my own experience and like my colleagues' experience is it's a lot more rigid than I think I would have expected going into wrestling training.
Right.
And like sometimes that can feel really frustrating because like sometimes you spend like people are in the system for like 2 or 3 years before they get to have their first match.
Yeah.
And like I remember like before I started training, and I would like go on Google and hear like, oh yeah, you train for like 6 months to a year before you have a first match. So being in like that rigid of a system that takes that much time, it can be really frustrating. But it comes like it's to our benefit because like then once we are ready, like we're really polished, I think.
Yeah.
Like my second ever match, I was on like a show in the middle of nowhere in New York, and Just Incredible happened to be on the show, and someone in the match asked Just Incredible to watch it and give us feedback. And Just Incredible looked at me and was like, yeah, I can tell you've probably been doing this for like 3 or 4 years. And I was like, this is my second match. And he was like, oh, you must be trained at a really good school then. So that was kind of the moment I was like, we're really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Molly's like a really good example of how like the benefits of that system.
I mean, again, because I've only seen like a handful of matches of hers.
Sure.
But like I wouldn't have put her as being as new as she is. I mean, it's the same with. There's a similar one over here with the PBW Academy, which is the aforementioned one that like Noam Dar and Kaylee Ray came from. And it's the same kind of thing there. You'll see like people who've been training there for like a couple of years before they're actually out having matches properly and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
there's one
yeah.
right now called, and we've mentioned her on the stream a lot, Angel Hayes.
Okay.
Who's like ridiculously good for how young she is. Like she's already getting booked on like Pro Wrestling Eve shows and stuff. And she's still
awesome.
And she's still only 18.
That's amazing.
But she's been training at PBW since she was like I think 15 or 16.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I think there's like a huge upside to like letting people, like, giving people that like extra time to like. Quack uses the word like incubate a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
like
that's a good word for it, I would say.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the times with like a lot of the I don't want to say like less reputable, but like with a lot of the less rigid like training, yeah, with a lot of the training systems that are more like that, I think their idea is like we're gonna thrust like if you're kind of like put into those like difficult positions of like maybe having a match when you're not ready, that it helps you learn faster, or like you kind of like learn to adapt in the moment.
Yeah.
Which is like certainly a good skill.
Yeah,
but
it's true for some people, but not everybody.
Yeah, I think different people need different approaches. Like some people do need to be thrown into the deep end and, you know, figure it out for themselves. But I think in a lot of cases, like when people have that extra time to like train longer and like, you know, figure out privately what they're really good at and build on that, I think like that can really work to their benefit.
I remember watching an interview listening to an interview with Viper, and she was saying that like Because you get some people who walk into a wrestling school and they're just like a natural at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from what you're saying, it sounds like Molly might have been one of them. And whereas, like, Viper was saying, like, I absolutely wasn't one of them.
I wasn't either. I absolutely wasn't.
Sarah with a big win.
That match was great, but I guess the 77. I thought that was really fun to watch.
The clash of styles like affects the rating sometimes as well. Like if they're classed as being different styles of wrestlers.
Okay.
Sarah also like a guest booker we had once. Lovely woman.
I'm definitely gonna seek out some of her stuff after this probably.
I would say the only downside, and we were talking about this when she was on, is that a lot of the stuff of hers that's on YouTube doesn't really show her at her best.
Okay.
And it's mainly because, like, a lot when she was like sort of really starting to come through and stuff like that, a lot of companies didn't have their own sort of on-demand services or whatever yet. And there's a few like matches and stuff on YouTube, but a lot of them are, you know, from when she was younger and still learning kind of thing. Her best matches are probably the ones she had in Fierce Females.
Okay.
I don't know if they're on their on-demand service because they kind of went through an overhaul a couple of years ago, and I don't think all of the older stuff's been put back up yet.
All right.
I know they've been working on it. Like they've put some older matches on their YouTube page recently.
I'm sure it's worth a look anyway, because like even if I don't find her match specifically, I'm sure I'll find, you know, matches like other matches I'm interested in watching, or like I'll be turned on to like a new wrestler who I didn't know about who I really like.
Oh yeah, I mean like the Fierce Females one, as well as like her, you would have like Jayla Dark, you would have like a lot of the Irish girls like Debbie Keitel and Amy Alonzi and Raven Creed.
And like these are all they're all names that I'm like familiar with just by virtue of like I'm on Twitter a lot, and like I try to use that to like expand like my knowledge of like different scenes. It's just like sometimes it doesn't always translate to like seeing the matches. But I've been trying to use quarantine to expose myself to a lot not necessarily new in terms of like necessarily new modern wrestling, but like just stuff I haven't watched before.
Yeah.
So like the last like week or two, I watched a bunch of the Future Wrestling Alliance, which is like an old late 90s, early 2000s promotion that like it's basically where like guys like Quack and like Don Montoya and Reckless Youth kind of got their I don't know that
I remember
their
their name.
like, yeah, it's like it's where they first kind of like blew up before Quack started Chikara. And so I was watching some stuff from that. I just discovered, I don't know the full name, I know it as FM Lute. I watched it with Jody Summers maybe like a week ago.
Right.
It's a promotion up in Montreal, and they've like Sexy Eddie is probably like the biggest name they have there.
Yeah. No Sexy Eddie.
If you're familiar with Frankie the Mobster, he started doing like a different gimmick, I guess, up there. So he's Beast King FTM, and he comes out with like a live snake and he spits blood, and it's kind of awesome.
Oh, that sounds cool.
They also have a rookie there named El Mosquito, who I adore. He's got a wonderful mask. They have so many like talented guys. I don't know if you remember or if you've ever seen, there was a fatal four-way in CZW, which featured Sexy Eddie, Kevin Steen, and El Generico. And it was right after Sexy Eddie's, whether it was Tournament of Death or Cage of Death or whatever he was in, where he like really, I think it was Tournament of Death, which was like his performance that really like got him over with CZW.
Yeah.
So then this four-way match was what brought Steen and Generico into the States for the first time. And the fourth person in that match was this guy named Excess. And
I know
Excess
I
is
know the
apparently...
name.
Yeah, so apparently Excess is still wrestling, and he's the champion of this promotion. And his son is also wrestling.
Oh wow!
And so like so seeing Excess for the first time in a long time, and then seeing his son Excess Jr. Like there's so much talent up in Montreal that I was just like totally unaware of, and that I think a lot of people are unaware of. Because if I remember correctly, like this promotion's Twitter only has like 15 followers or something like that, and like 2 of them are me and Jody. But they have awesome shows. It's in a venue where I guess it's like a bar or a club, and the ring is, I guess they have a stage for like music performances, and so 2 of the posts are perched on the stage, and then the other 2 posts are perched on, I don't know if they're like speaker boxes or something, but they like, it juts out from the stage. So the side that they do all the dives on in this venue, the ring is like elevated even higher than it normally would be.
Right.
So like if they do a tope con hilo, it's like a 15-foot drop.
Jesus.
So it makes all the dives look amazing and terrifying. So all of that is suffice to say, I'm really looking forward to like getting into like a wider variety of wrestling. So even if I don't find Sarah Marie Taylor,
I mean, if you were
checking out like fierce females,
well,
or OTT or whatever.
I mean, Fierce Females once put on one of my favourite matches ever.
What was that?
It was Viper against Jayla Dark.
Okay.
And everyone in the chat is going to be like, oh, this again, because I talk about this match all the fucking time. But it was so good. It used to be on YouTube and it's now not, so I don't know if they're moving it to their on-demand service.
Okay.
But it's ridiculously good. And
right.
it's like,
I just wrote it down next to Zombie Lumberjack match, so
yeah, I mean, like,
I'll definitely be checking it out.
Jordan in the chat there, he was there with me, and he's like, yes, absolutely, it was great, because it was so. It's one of those matches where, I mean, you'll see crisper, cleaner executed matches, but it wouldn't have worked if it was.
I understand what you mean. I think a lot of like Nick Gage, like I think a lot of his appeal is the same way. Where like,
oh no,
the thing I really
this was more of an emotional thing because kind of like what you were saying with the Molly McCoy segment. Because I mean, like Viper and Jayla, who was wrestling under the name Bet Noir at the time, they're like real life best friends. And, and it's like not like that was a big secret or anything. It was pretty widely known in this sort of Scottish wrestling community. So it was like playing on that. Jayla had turned heel on her with the reasoning that, like, you know, we came through the same school, did the same training, wrestled the same people, but you're the one that everyone always talks about, kind of thing. So, and there's like an element of truth to that. So it built upon that, and they had this like last one standing match where they just knocked the hell out of each other, and it was full of like little moments. And like the finish, like Viper won by Michinoku driving her on the floor, and tipping in the venue. They had these like big, heavy, like hard wooden framed couches, and she like tipped one of them onto her to get like the 10 count. And it wasn't like the whole, you know, the John Cena kind of like, haha, let's see him escape this one kind of thing. It was more like, I don't want to hurt my friend anymore.
That's cool.
And
also, speaking of Michinoku driver,
yeah,
there was one.
And, but then, like at the 10 count, like Viper runs over and like pulls the couch off of her and tries to help her to her feet. And like,
that's cool.
And Jayla's like,
like
pushing her away, like, no, we're done, kind of thing. And the way the ending visual of the show was, like Viper's music's playing and she's being announced as I'm still the champion, and she's literally just crumpled in a heap on the floor, like bawling her eyes out.
Oh my! That actually, it's funny that you bring in the Molly McCoy analogy, because there was something extremely similar last year in Chikara as well with Molly McCoy. Early before that King of Trios where that happened. I don't know how much you know about current Chikara.
Not really current Chikara.
Okay. So
I know who's all there, but not who's doing what kind of thing.
Okay. So so to give you the necessary background info.
Okay.
Juan Francisco de Coronado was the grand champion for I think a year and a half.
Yeah, I remember that.
Before so he had this kind of reign of terror going before finally losing the grand championship to Mr. Touchdown Mark Angelosetti. Shortly thereafter, Angelosetti, Dasher, and Boomer all entered King of Trios 2018, I think it was.
Right.
And in the first round, Touchdown suffers a leg injury.
Right.
And it was, I don't remember specifically what the injury was, but basically, it was not certain how long he was going to be out of action. So they had to, instead of forfeiting the title, they named an interim champion who was Dasher.
Right.
So Dasher defends the title, I think 3 or 4 times while Touchdown's injured. And then Touchdown returns and he's like, hey, thank you very much for, holding on to this for me, but I'm ready to start wrestling again. And Dasher's like, I don't think you are. I think I should hold on to this a little bit longer. I don't think you're fully healed up. And Touchdown kind of insists, no, I'm good. And Dasher ends up turning on him and hitting him with the title. And but then he tries to justify it as, no, I was just watching out for you, I don't want you to come back too soon and lose it. I'm doing this to protect you. And this obviously leads to a dispute, and they end up having a ladder match WrestleMania weekend to decide who the undisputed grand champion is. Dasher ends up winning, and Boomer obviously Boomer doesn't take umbrage with any of this because Dasher is turning on his family. And it could be argued that he's using some questionable ways to retain the title.
Yeah.
And so Boomer's this isn't the dad who raised me to be respectful. Also, hey, 97% from yours truly.
Yeah. I mean, you got pinned by a punch to the nuts, but that's understandable.
It happens. I'm not here to put myself over. I'm here to have a good show.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of the people we've had that didn't book themselves in the main event, so...
Yeah, no, I don't know. I am not... I want to say I'm not, confident in myself, but, I try to be, realistic about where I'm at, And, I've thought a lot about booking a show, and I wouldn't... if I did book and promote a show, I'd probably put myself in the opener, to be honest.
Jordan in the chat's literally just said that when we had him on. That's Jordan as in Brent Carter, by the way.
It's not even because see, I see he says because he knows his place, but I don't think of it as knowing your place. I think the opener is one of the most important matches on the card.
Oh, absolutely.
But I also think if I was running a show, I would want to be able to watch the rest of it. I wouldn't want to be worried about my match the whole time.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Lou and Krieger used the same logic when they booked themselves in the opener.
Also, this match is gonna be fantastic.
Oh god, yeah.
But so Boomer obviously took umbrage with Dasher's methods. And in the Infinite Gauntlet, which is kind of Chikara's take on the Royal Rumble, or Aztec Warfare, whatever you want to call the style of match.
Yeah. Rumble with penance.
Yeah. So Boomer was number 1 or 2, and then Dasher was, I think, maybe like 3 or 4.
Right.
And it basically was like everyone was coming out and just kind of avoiding getting in the ring because Dasher and Boomer were just fighting it out, and it was getting kind of uncomfortable. And eventually, Dasher eliminates Boomer, or Boomer... I think Dasher eliminates Boomer. And then Boomer comes back in to cause Dasher to be eliminated. And after the match is over, Boomer comes out and he calls out Dasher, and he vents all his frustrations. And Sydney Bacabella, who was Chikara's director of fun at the time, comes out and says, "I know how we're going to solve this. At our big show in Chicago, we're going to have Dasher Hatfield versus Boomer Hatfield. You can settle your differences. Title won't be on the line, but it's mask versus mask."
Right.
And
See, like, I know the result of that because I was like, oh yeah. Like, when did that happen, kind of thing.
yeah. So, spoiler alert for anyone in the chat if you want to watch it. But Boomer manages to get Dasher in a guillotine choke, and Dasher taps out, and Boomer wins, so Dasher has to unmask. Boomer, so like he's won, he's like beaten his father, he's proven that like the way his father like brought him up is the right way and not the way his father's been as of late. But like he's sitting there and like Dasher's like telling him like, come on, take it, like you won the mask, take it off my head. And Boomer's like, I can't do it, that's my dad, I can't do this to him, this is humiliating. And Dasher starts like shoving him, and he's like, you know, like I raised you to be this and this and that, and like you finally beat me, you finally overcame your old man, and you can't even do this now, you can't even do this right, blah blah blah. And he pulls his own mask off, and Molly gets in the ring and covers his head with a towel, and Dasher like storms out of the ring, and Molly just like gets up in Boomer's face, and she's like teary-eyed, and she can't believe what he's done to Dasher, and she's like, I'll never forgive you for this, like in the like super passionately.
I need to start watching more of her.
She's so great at moments like that. And so she exits, and it's just Boomer alone in the ring holding Dasher's mask, and like the crowd is like cheering for him and telling him like, you did it, you did the right thing, but he couldn't look more dejected. It was like I love moments like that in wrestling, because like it's like they're emotions that don't get explored as commonly.
Yeah.
Because like wrestling as a art form, right, is like more predisposed to just like emotions like anger, right?
Yeah.
Like these hate feuds, like the Gargano and Ciampa, which is, you know, that can be done very well.
Oh, totally.
But I love stories that like explore like the more nuanced sides of that, like about like when victory isn't as fulfilling, or when there's like that kind of like bittersweetness to it.
Yeah.
Like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair is another great example.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm absolutely gonna look at that Viper and JLo match. That sounds phenomenal.
I need to check out more, because I know like Diesel was spoken very highly of it. So, but I've only seen, as I said, like just the odd match here and there. But yeah, I'll need to change that.
I mean, if I can do a plug, Chikara's Action Arcade streams live every Saturday morning on IWTV and Chikaratopia.
Yeah. And I do have an IWTV account, so Mayu gonna win.
And Mayu gets the win. I know Kimberly did a tour of Japan with Stardom at the end of 2018, so maybe they did have this match. I'd be curious to know. And the 90% I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I only got to see Kimber once live.
Off the super kick, I do need to say, I think Mayu has my favorite super kick in pro wrestling.
I wouldn't dispute that.
What was the
aforementioned Angel Hayes does a very good super kick. The match I saw, It was
the Kimber match you saw.
It was the one I've only ever managed to make it to one Chikara show, and it was like their UK tour a good few years back.
Oh yeah.
It was the year before they did King of Trios down in England.
Yes.
So
I was actually at that King of Trios in England. Fun fact, I was like a young boy.
I wasn't, unfortunately. I wanted to go, but I just couldn't afford it.
Chikara couldn't afford it.
No, I mean I couldn't afford to go down to England.
No, it was that was not the most lucrative financial decision Chikara's ever made. I'm just making light of that.
Yeah, because I was at the Glasgow show of the tour the year before.
Was that her and Hallowicked?
Yeah, the one where she lost the title.
Yeah.
I was at that show. And it was cool because there was a lot of people there who maybe weren't as familiar with Chikara, who just went because, Glasgow's a pretty good wrestling city. And so a lot of people just went, it's a wrestling show, let's go check it out, kind of thing. And they knew, like, Chikara's this, like, American company and wanted to check them out. Yeah, I mean, Jordan was one of the people that was there with me. It was a fantastic show. I had so much fun at it.
I remember I started watching the shows from that tour. I'm not sure... What else was on that show?
Stokely against Warren Barksdale, but it was still under the Chuck Taylor TM then. There was a 4 tag team match that was Los Ice Creams, who were super over, by the way.
Oh, everyone loves Los Ice Creams.
And again, as I said, most of the crowd, had never seen a Chikara show before. So
but they're so lovable. The moment you see them, you instantly understand, and it's amazing.
It was them, NRG, the Batiri, and Eddie Kingston and someone.
Okay.
I think.
It's probably not the Glasgow show, but...
No, wait, it was the Ants. Eddie Kingston was in another tag match.
Okay.
And the opener was Heidi Lovelace against Nixon Newell.
Yeah, I just saw that got mentioned in the chat. That sounds phenomenal. I love both of them.
Nixon actually wrestled twice that show.
Oh, really?
Because there was a pre-show that I don't think got recorded.
Oh.
Because Fight Club Pro were helping put the tour on, so a lot of their people were getting used in the pre-show. Oh. And because it was in Glasgow, they brought in some people from who had trained or were training at the Source Wrestling School.
Okay.
As one of the sort of main ones in Glasgow.
I think one of the things I really appreciate about Chikara as a company, and separate from being a part of it, but something I appreciate just as a fan is they're really willing to highlight and show off people who may not be as experienced or as well known. They're willing to take risks on people. I think a really good example is I don't think the White Wolf guys would have blown up as much as they did if it wasn't for King of Trios 2017 in the UK.
Yeah.
Because they had a ridiculously good match. It was A-Kid, Carlos Romo, who at the time was still going by Adam Chase, and I think Zayas was the other one.
Right.
Against British Strong Style. And I think if that match hadn't happened, I don't know if A-Kid and Carlos Romo would have really blown up in the UK the way they did.
Well, the pre-show ones on this were what was it? The first match was the two Source guys were Solar, who's a young, well, not as young now, but a very small flippy boy from there, and Kieran Kelly,
okay,
who's another sort of pretty young Source guy, although even younger back then, against the Hunter brothers from Fight Club Pro. And then the second one was a 6-person tag. And what a lineup that had. So Team Source was Viper, Joe Coffey and Lewis Girvin. Lewis Girvin is a guy from there he's a good wrestler, but he's also very good in comedy spots and stuff. Like, as you were saying earlier, he's like very good at being like the foil for stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
And it was them against Trent Seven, Tyler Bate and Nixon Newell. And,
That sounds ridiculously good.
And Nixon came out with a moustache on as well.
Of course you did.
Oh yeah, that's a good point from Jordan in the chat. For anyone out there who has Amazon Prime, there's a lot of Chikara on there as well.
Yeah, Quack actually was telling me maybe a few months ago that he did a lot of work for a few years on like getting Chikara on like various like lesser known distribution channels.
Yeah.
Not to say like Amazon Prime isn't well known, but like a reason it ended up on Amazon Prime as much as it did was because he had like a big focus on making Chikara available in countries that are like often overlooked.
Yeah.
So like there are a lot of countries in like Southeast Asia, I think he said, where like Chikara's on TV sometimes.
Oh wow. I mean that's
because it's just
smart.
He just managed to find like the right like distribution channels.
I want this match to happen now.
Oh yeah, this match absolutely should happen. I'm gonna try to get in Quack's ear about More Than Hype for King of Trios.
Oh, they would go over so well at that.
Oh, for sure. We had the Velocities from Australia this year, and they were amazing.
But here's a fun thing when Amy Alonzi has like also been a guest booker. Her like IRL fella is Darren Tierney, the guy who just stepped out onto the apron.
Yeah.
And he was the one person that wouldn't sign for us from them.
That's funny. Also, yeah, Quack's online seminars have been very good in the lockdown. They've been an awesome way to continue learning. He has one tonight that I'm really interested in. That's about, I think, like inventing new characters or like creating new characters, which I'm really interested in.
Bryce Remsburg used to help out a lot with that stuff too, right?
As far as I know, yeah. I mean, he's still like around. Like obviously he's not as like readily available with AEW. Yeah. But like, I know he still does as much as he can. Bryce was like a big, like, I'm trying to think what the word. I guess mentor for me. Considering, I don't know if you know this. I ring announced for Chikara for a year before I debuted. Yeah. So, like during that time, I was basically just like a student who was at the right place at the right time. We have like internal like student shows where like they're not open to the public, but it's like everyone gets like a little character and like we'll do stories and everyone's has their little matches. And before I was ready to start having those matches, I would just be ring announcing those student shows. And it just so happened that at that time, Vlad Radinov, our old ring announcer, wasn't able to ring announce anymore. So I just kind of got pulled in, and Bryce was like very helpful and a very good guide through all that. So I've gotten very close with Bryce, and he's just wonderful. I'm surprised an 80 for this match. I thought that would have done a little bit better.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure in real life it would be more like 100.
Yeah, like I did approach Bryce about doing one of these, but didn't hear back. Which I get it because he's a very, very busy man these days.
Oh, absolutely.
It was just like one of those might as well at least try. And if he is able to do it, great. If not, like not
Yeah.
going to take it personally or anything. So, I mean, because I think he'd be a good fun on one of these. So, Mike Quackenbush versus Alex Shelley.
I'm so excited for this.
That would rule.
It would. I don't know how much I can say, but I had heard at one point that this was supposed to happen, like, relatively soon.
Oh, what?
Considering like Alex Shelley just started doing stuff again. Mike had expressed to me that it was like a match he really wanted to have, and that he had been talking to someone about making it happen, but like the schedules just didn't line up.
Right.
So
okay.
it might be still on the radar for the near future, but
I hope so.
I don't know for sure.
I'm hoping, like, I've mentioned it on here before, but we were just talking about Amy Alonzi. The weekend of that charity stream we did was basically Scrappermania was supposed to be that weekend.
Okay.
And again, it basically is just me putting over Amy Alonzi again, because we all love big match ends here.
Nothing wrong with putting over the people you like, the people you care about.
Yeah, like, she was supposed to wrestle for the OTT Women's title at that show, which would have been like the biggest match of her career.
That's unfortunate.
She's still, like, as I said, very young. She's like 20, I think. She was supposed to wrestle Sami Zayn for the OTT's Women's title.
I've seen a bit of Sami Zayn.
And like, obviously it got pulled at a few days' notice because of the COVID stuff. And I had been thinking about asking her to be on the charity stream anyway, until I realised that, you know, Scrappermania was the same weekend. I don't think the match had been announced yet at that point, but I figured she'd be involved in some manner or other. And so, like, I messaged her, like, hey, I know obviously I'll be down in that, but if we're doing this charity thing at the weekend, you're up for being a part of it, we'd love to have you on. And she was like, absolutely, count me in. So she agreed to be a part of it at like a day and a half's notice, and came in and was just an absolute laugh. So we can never say enough nice things about Amy Alonzi on this stream, is what I'm saying. And everyone else who was a part of that as well.
Heck yeah.
Like Vela Dark, Aisha Raymond, Emily Hayden, John Robertson, who's an Australian stand-up comedian based in England. Johnny and Duel came in for a little bit of it as well. And and Caveman.
That's cool.
Who's a loud-ass man. Viper, Andrew Everett, and Jodie.
What a group.
Oh, yeah, I know how to assemble them, huh? We were supposed to have Shug as well, but like some last minute stuff came up with like real life stuff.
Yeah, it
That you
happens.
couldn't get. Same with David Arquette.
I definitely feel for Amy in that situation, because like I was kind of in the same scenario where the Chikara Cibernetico was supposed to be on March 28th.
Right.
And I would have been in the Cibernetico match itself, which is like one of the big, Chikara events every year. And that would have been the biggest match of my career, but COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll still happen. Just it'll be rescheduled for some point in the future. It's just frustrating not knowing when that is.
Yeah. Oh, hey Chainsaw, how you doing, mate?
Welcome back from shopping, CM Chainsaw. You're just in time for Quackenbush versus Alex Shelley.
I just realised the big betrayal by you in that you didn't book Xavier Faraday.
I asked about him.
Did you?
Yeah, I said, do we have Xavier?
Oh, right. I thought you.
Did you think I meant ROH Xavier?
Yeah.
Oh. No, that's what I meant, Xavier Faraday.
Yes, we do have him.
Oh well, too late now.
Albeit kind of like a rough version of him, because it needs a little bit of work, but he is there.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully someone books Oreo Speedwagon in the future.
Tell you what, if you want, I'll bring him in, make him a part of your stable.
Perfect. That works for me.
Oh, and Eddie Sideburns is in the chat. Hello.
Hey, Eddie Sideburns. I actually, me and Xavier actually got into a little bit of a scat the other day. We were playing Madverse City on Jackbox Party Pack.
Oh yeah.
If that's the rap battle one, if you're not familiar. And things got pretty heated.
Oh no.
We kept ending up like the final, like the main event of the last round, and we were really going in on each other. There was, I think at one point he was just like, "I'm sorry in advance. Please don't break up our tag team."
Quack with the win.
Quack picks up the win. Good for him.
77.
77. I don't know how these numbers are looking. I don't know how this is all going to average out in the end.
So, I mean, you have 2 matches left and you're currently at an average of 85.
Okay, all right.
There's certainly nothing to be sneezed at.
Yeah, that's perfectly in the middle of that range. You know, I'm not coming for the top spot, but as long as I do better than Jody, I think I'll be happy.
Well, let's see. I mean, you're still on for that, I think. I'll just need to bring up the leaderboard again. Because that's how most people work it. They're like, so long as I do better than this person. I mean, when we had Lou and Krieger on, they were like, so long as we do better than Eddie Sideburns, and he was the only person they didn't do better. That he was, or rather, they're the only people that like didn't match his score. So Jody scored an average of 86.1.
Okay, all right.
So
I think we can beat that.
Our top 5, by the way, are still Maya in first place, Shug, Manlin, Amy Alonzi, and Viper.
All right. That's a formidable top 5.
Yeah. Andrew Everett came 8th. Looking for other people, like, you know. I mean, I think you'll beat Sarah. She got 84.3.
Okay. Unless these 2 matches just tank. Which I'd be so disappointed if Cesaro and Shibata just tanked.
I can't imagine it will.
Oh, I can't imagine it either. Oh, Eddie wants another go.
Yeah, because like I did say, like, because he was, I think, one of the first people that we had after the mods went down, and now they're back. So, because there's more stuff available for you, like, you get a bit more freedom in this mode with the mods active. Like, all the palm greasing I did to help you get people was not available to him. So yes, Eddie, you can absolutely have another go.
This is a match I'd be extremely excited for if it were to happen.
Oh yeah.
I think... you know, I was thinking... I was gonna say, like, I think it's kind of like the previous generation of independent women's wrestlers versus, like, the new generation.
Yeah.
But, like, that even got me thinking, like, I think Chris Statlander and Sarah Del Rey would also be amazing.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, Sarah Del Rey versus anyone would be amazing, but...
I'm sure this is something that has been said a lot, but I really hope Sarah gets to do a takeover match at some point.
Oh god, yeah. Chainsaw, the mods are back. I just didn't have time to make a custom ring, is all. I would love... I said this at the time. I wanted the Mae Young Classic. As it said, Kairi Sane wins. They should have done a thing where like they were presenting her with like the trophy and stuff like that. And then like all of a sudden from out of nowhere, like Sarah Del Rey gives her a German suplex.
CM Chainsaw, Kana versus Sarah. Assuming by Kana you mean Asuka.
Yes, that happened at Chikara, didn't it?
Kana happened to Chikara, yeah. It's a phenomenal match too. It may have happened
It's great.
again outside of Chikara, but the one in Chikara is phenomenal.
It's on
It might be, that one.
YouTube.
I think it is. I think it's one of the Podcast to Go free matches. I could even, if the chat allows links, I could even link it if you'd like.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah, here it is. Obviously, don't go watch it now.
Yeah,
but
we still got 2 quality matches to go, including this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my rule for like links are allowed. Basically my rule for that is links are allowed, but use common sense.
Yeah.
And yes, Eddie, this is Holiday Road, albeit an instrumental remix of it.
Also, Eddie, I don't know if you're aware, but Daisy Hayes and Sarah Del Rey were a tag team in Chikara as well. I feel like that's probably common knowledge, though. I don't want to underestimate your intelligence.
Yeah, I'll chuck you the link afterwards, Eddie.
I only mention it because I have been watching a lot of that era of Chikara recently. It's like the BDK era.
Yeah.
I don't know what Daisy Hayes is up to these days. I don't think she wrestles, as far as I know.
I think she's done with it. Yeah.
Because I know back in the day she was struggling with an eating disorder.
Right.
And I think she got out of wrestling because of that. Or that had part of played a part in her leaving wrestling. Not necessarily she left wrestling because of it. But seeing them reunited would be an awesome moment.
Oh, is that one?
Shaw Guerrero was another one.
I knew she left, but I didn't know that was why.
I thought she was really going to be something too. I think she had like so much potential. It's unfortunate how like those things work, but you got to put their own health first.
Oh, absolutely. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Kablam.
This could be it. Oh!
Yeah, this match we're going.
This would be awesome. You know who I've been becoming like a bigger fan of lately?
Who's that?
I think Liv Morgan is like really becoming a great wrestler.
Oh, totally.
Like she is really she's like not afraid to try new things, and I really respect that. Like I don't know if all of them hit. Like I know now she's doing like that kind of like Arabian press flatliner thing. Sorry, my microphone died for a second there. And so she's doing this like Arabian press flatliner thing that you know, I don't know if I love it, but like I love the like ingenuity of it.
Yeah.
Like I love that she's like figuring out new ideas and like putting them to use and seeing how they end up looking and how they end up working.
Yeah.
I really respect that.
85.
All right, so keeping at the average.
So here we go. What a main event.
It all comes down to the main event, the best match I could think of. Me beating Jody's overall average it all comes down to this.
And it's still doable.
Oh yeah, for sure. Another BDK member.
Oh yeah, I'm done with Shikara guys, and it's like Cesaro and Ruby Riott you bring in.
Oh, I love Shibata's theme. Oh my gosh. Every time I hear those first few notes, I just get like the like a flashback to when he came back to say he was okay.
Oh yeah, I lost my mind at that.
that the match with Okada that unfortunately ended his career is like unquestionably my favorite match of all time. Like I know a lot of people have said it's like hard for them to watch back, but I cherish it more, I think, because of the implication of it. It also, funny enough, it was that event was on my birthday, and so like I stayed up until 4 a.m. or whatever time it was in America when Sakura Genesis happened, and the next day I had to go to an early morning training class at the factory, because there used to be like this fitness class on Sunday mornings to help people get in shape if they needed like extra help, and so I stayed up till 4 a.m., got like 2 hours of sleep after the match, and then next morning I was in the Wrestle Factory with Icarus working up a sweat.
How did that go for you?
It was great. That was a wonderful class. Like, say what you want about Icarus as like a wrestler, but
Or as a man with a tattoo?
yeah, as a man with a tattoo. Say what you want about the character, but like, I love that guy to death. We would just work out for like 2 or 3 hours every morning, and like his like workout playlist was all just like Disney musical songs and like stand-up comedy bits. So we would go from like some weird like Dane Cook bit to like Moana. But it was like perfect. It was a good time.
I had an idea for like someone to maybe try and get in on this as well. And it's like, I don't know if I've gotten in with them or whatever, but I'd love it to happen. I would love to try and get the Anti-Fun Police to do one, but have them try and put on the worst show they possibly could.
I could see that. That'd be cool. Also, to go back to something Eddie Sideburns said, I really do wish more companies did cyberneticos. I can like understand why people don't, because like the rules are they're not hard to understand, but they're intimidating at a first glance, I think. But I think that, and Quack also taught me about something called Australian rules matches, which I think more companies should do.
Right.
It's basically, so it's a lucha libre tradition. It's a 2 out of 3 falls trios match, or sometimes an 8-man tag.
Yeah.
Where each team has a captain, and to get a fall, you either need to pin all the non-captain members of the team to get 1 fall, or you need to pin the captain.
Right.
So I feel like there's like a lot of fun stuff you could do there. Because it just like allows for a lot more, I want to say like a lot more falls, I guess, which like a lot more drama and tension, I guess, is what I'm going for. Like the fact that like it might take 3 pins to score 1 fall out of 3, like I think you can do, like that's a really interesting way to like build like an underdog or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, this heel team pinned the captain. They already have a fall. Now, like, but maybe the heel captain is like someone that like these guys are just not gonna pin, or like it's very unlikely. I don't know. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with that dynamic, but I've never seen one done. Like I think the only place they really do them anymore is CMLL, which is like very old school lucha libre. So you know, giant swing, baby. I love like giant swing variants.
Oh god, yeah.
Like obviously like the classic giant swing is great. White Mike from the Gymnasty Boys does like a front face lock giant swing.
Oh yeah, Joe Coffey used to do one like that. Albeit with him it was like like he was going to give you like a butterfly suplex, and he would just swing them round and then like eventually stop and snap into the suplex.
Travis Huckabee in Chikara, when he was a babyface, he would do a stretch muffler giant swing. There's a lot of fun little variants. Like the UFO, I guess. I don't know if I count that, but UFO's fun. Oh, this one's gonna be close.
European uppercut.
Love a good European uppercut.
European.
Very European. Ironically, like, I'm glancing over like my notes, and a lot of like the ideas that I have for things I want to try when I go back to training after quarantine are like a lot of unique ways to do European uppercuts. Like I have a bunch of ideas for like unique twists on them that I want to give a shot.
There's one. Tell Travis that Chainsaw said hi. I haven't seen
I will do that. I will do that. The stretch muffler swing, I don't know what you mean by which ways he's spinning. So imagine like the stretch muffler or the Brock lock, whatever you want to call it. So he gets his head on the inside of the knee, and then he'll stand straight up so they're off the mat, and then he just spins. I guess he spins towards their body. So I think that's how centripetal force works. So he's not spinning so their body would be on the inside of the pivot, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rather than on the outside. I hope that answers your question, Eraser. Cesaro's 100 rotation giant swing was kind of cheating because those fans were not counting one per rotation.
No, they were not.
But no, they eventually they started going like, okay, let's move on. We're ready for this to be over.
It's still impressive as hell.
Fun spot. Oh, absolutely. There was what match did I watch recently?
The bit that always cracks me up of it is just that one commentator like, "Stop this madness!"
There was a match I watched recently with Cesaro in it that had like a crazy long giant swing, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been. I know what it was. I watched from Extreme Rules 2015, it might have been, the Fatal 4-Way with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and The Miz.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That match is fantastic.
I mean, considering the people in it.
Oh, absolutely. But, like, there's so many, like, super compelling near falls in it. Like, I think I was watching it again with like Jody and like a few other friends of ours, and like there were like at least like 10 or 15 times where we're like, that has to be it, and it wasn't, and it just kept going. But like every near fall had like a reason for you to believe, and Shibata won.
What a match.
My favorite wrestler beats maybe my second favorite wrestler. That was fantastic. 100, baby. You know, if any match was going to get 100, that was it.
So, let's see how we did. 86.6.
How did I stack up to Jody Summers, Jody the wrestler? Was his 86.4?
He had 86.1.
I beat him by 0.5. I will take the victory.
You also beat the person, because by virtue of that, you also beat the person he was tied with in our scores.
And who is that again?
That was Alan Smith, who is an actual promoter.
Oh!
He is he's the boss of Discovery Wrestling, my local company.
Oh!
This is where we get all the weird, like, title wins. Taka Michinoku wins a title.
Hell yeah.
They seem to be deciding all their junior heavyweight ones.
It does.
Marty Skrull and Cheeseburger, a team. It just throws together random teams, even if you've got them together in stables or whatever.
Oh, that's like some of the best stuff about games like this, or like TEW or anything like that, or like even like Universe on the 2K games.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing like the weird random things that happen.
Oh, Rusev won one of the GCW titles because we sent him there.
He's absolutely going to end up in GCW. I mean, maybe he goes straight to All Elite, but I'd love to see Rusev versus Nick Gage.
I'll tell you what I want. Rusev in the G1.
That would be fantastic. If he doesn't go to AEW, he 100% does New Japan, I think.
Oh, Debbie Keitel won a title as well.
Good for her.
We lost a lot of money, but that was because of the amount of money I spent, like, basically getting our facilities back up to where they were.
Ah, okay. Well, all right.
So, let's have a look, see how things work. Yeah, so it's like, by the look of it, because it gives every title, every company gets given the same sort of titles. So
Okay.
like, every company gets like a heavyweight, a junior heavyweight, a tag team, a junior heavyweight tag team, and a 6-person tag team title. Ultimo Drag? Is that? No, that'll be Ultimo Guerrero. Left CNLL. Aoife Valkyrie left OTT. It says
That's accurate to life, isn't it?
yeah. It says Andrew Everett and Liu King Sharp have been feuding for a while and they should have a match.
I inadvertently helped that feud, I guess.
Yeah, so let's say that. Yeah, Debbie Keitel won it was the Pro Wrestling Eve 6-person tag team titles, along with, it looked like, Jamie Hayter and Chris Wolf.
Oh, very nice.
That's an interesting team.
It certainly is.
So, Jodie, just one thing left to do,
All right.
because we have a tradition on this stream.
Okay.
Because I know you said you weren't as familiar with Fire Pro games,
Okay.
but you can do MMA fights in Fire Pro as well, where
Okay.
like the AI behaves like differently with them, for the most part at least. And we have this tradition
Okay.
where we put someone in a shoot fight with a bear.
All right.
So, who would you like to see in a shoot fight with a bear?
Well, I mean, me. I want to see how I hold up.
Right you are.
I didn't put myself in the main event, but I will put myself in the MMA fight with a bear.
And also, Tigray, it's actually just the company, the arena in the game that's supposed to be MSG. It's like one of the things with the mods now is that it renames some of the venues.
MSG, I have the hometown advantage.
Ah,
New York boy. I don't want to give Travis the satisfaction of getting to fight a bear. Not in real life, not in this game. But I appreciate you bringing that up, Brutus.
so here we go. Can Joshua Wells defeat a bear?
If I don't defeat the bear, I'm retiring in real life.
As always, our referee in charge of the action is the giant from Twin Peaks. Oh, you think I'm kidding?
No, I love that.
What?
Also, as always, Chris Hero looking on in the front row.
In every Fire Pro game, I believe. Or at least in every Fire Pro Worlds match.
Oh yeah, because you'll have seen that with Armbar Era Society, yeah.
Yeah. Someone in Armbar Air Society recently just like took the Chris Hero fan idea from Fire Pro and made it into a character for themselves.
Yeah, and he's not wearing a pimp hat this time, yeah. I mean, some people have beaten the bear.
You said Johnny beat a bear. Oh no, Johnny lost to the bear, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was in a regular wrestling match, not in the end-of-screen shoot fight.
I see. Okay. Well, I think winning the shoot fight's more impressive for sure.
Well, for some reason, people have done better against the bear in the shoot fight than in the wrestling match. And it's because, as I said, like the way that the characters behave between the two is very different.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Chris Hero beat the bear, which, you know, I can see that.
I mean, he's like a student of Tracy Smothers, so that doesn't surprise me at all. If anyone was going to beat a bear,
Tyler Bate beat the bear.
Big strong boy. That makes sense.
Aisha Raymond beat the bear.
Okay.
Knocked it out with a headbutt, by the way.
That's metal. That's great.
Effie beat the bear. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. And for some reason, Brad Armstrong beat the bear.
Okay.
Because sometimes we just pick someone at random to face the bear. Oh my! The Human Tornado's in the chat.
Oh man! Is that the real Human Tornado?
It is.
Oh wow!
He was.
Hey man,
he turned up.
big fan.
He turned up the other day to Andrew Everett's stream.
That's awesome. I'm like bewildered right now. I didn't expect that.
Nor did I. Well, we've got to put on another bear fight for the man, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, first we gotta see if I. Oh, okay, no. I heard the bell. I was like, no.
Oh, no, it makes that noise when you get banged in the nuts.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Tornado, this is our end-of-stream tradition, where we pick a wrestler, either at random or have our guest pick, and put them up against a bear.
I chose to see how I would fare against a bear in the octagon. Not sure how well that's going.
And you're still in this.
I mean, yeah, it's going pretty well. We made it to round 2. Like, the fact that I made it out of round 1, I feel like is an accomplishment. I feel like most human beings in a real bear.
The bear plane spin.
The bear plane spin. Oh my goodness! Someone needs to have a bear gimmick somewhere and do the bear plane spin. Brainbuster on the bear, bear buster. Rocket roll. Ooh.
Oh, saved by the bell. And you're putting up a fight.
Yeah, I want to win. I want to be better than Johnny. I already proved I'm better. I'm a better promoter than Jody. Now I have to prove I'm a better bear fighter than Johnny. It's my next goal. I'm just really focusing on brainbustering this bear.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that's a damn bear. Oh. And you're holding your own.
Yeah. I'm impressed with myself. Dead. Oh. Well, you know.
Yep.
We did our... I did my best, I think. I lasted 3 rounds with a bear.
Yeah.
Or 2.5, whatever you want to call it. I'm happy with that.
Not everyone makes it to the 3rd round against the bear. So
sure.
What I think we should do is just rando it until we find someone where we just know, yes, this is the person.
Sure.
Is Kerry Von Erich the person?
I don't think so. Oh, yes. Kitamura? Yes.
Kitamura versus a bear. We have it.
Oh, that's great.
It's an official Kitamura as well. I mean, could Kitamura beat a bear?
I think he could, honestly.
I mean, if you were fighting a bear, how would you go about it?
Well, it's tricky. So I know that they have very poor lateral movement. So you need to kind of get at their side. But I don't know how to begin. I think the best thing you could do is you gotta get the bear to charge you. And then you gotta sidestep, maybe get on and start choking it. But then I feel like you really run the risk of like exposing your arm to its mouth.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's no good. I wonder if bears are like sharks. Like if you just punched a bear in the snout, would it run away like a shark?
I don't think it would.
Yeah, I don't think it would either.
It wasn't a weapon, Tornado. It was just an extra sharp claw. It's fine. See? Extra sharp claw. I mean, it might have borrowed that extra sharp claw from Mitsushi Onita, but, you know. Oh, strong style trade-off
hell
there.
yeah, hell yeah! Into a double down, I love it.
And as well as a bear, we've also got a robot on our books. A super strong robot designed so that if I can make someone with lower stats and they still manage to hold their own against the bear, that means I've made them right. Against the robot. So it's our training robot, Grapsmaster 5000. Also, thank you, Human Tornado, for the follow. Very much appreciated.
Hell yeah.
We do these Fire Pro streams throughout this lockdown, or whatever you want to call this situation. We've been having wrestling people come in and book shows for us in Fire Pro.
Yeah, it was fun.
This is
I think you just missed it, but we had the main event of the show that I guest booked was Cesaro and Katsuyori Shibata. So you know that was pretty fun.
Who trained this damn bear? Probably Onita.
maybe Inoki.
Yeah.
You know they are doing the shoot style.
Maybe a bit of both.
Maybe. I'm trying to imagine how you would train a bear to wrestle. Because, like, when they wrestle bears, they obviously... Like, I don't think they were shoot wrestling bears. They obviously had to be some degree of training. I just wonder how they would go about that. I imagine it's like training a dog to do a trick, just on a much more dangerous scale.
Yeah.
The son of the bear Tracy Smothers fought. That's a good theory. Good backstory for this guy. Vertical suplex on a bear. Stalling vertical suplex.
He's whooping the bear right now.
He really is. I think the bigger question is, can a bear fight Kitamura? Running power slam. So, does the bear have just like crazy augmented
the bear
stats?
got saved by the bell. The bear was out.
Oh my god. Yes! He did it!
Kitamura beats a bear.
Imagine a bear being a young lion. I want to see Shibata training a bear. Shibata like making a bear do 500 squats at the US dojo.
Oh wow. In the chat there, Jordan says, Lauren, who's Jordan's partner, Her dad knew the guy who owned Hercules the wrestling bear.
Oh wow, that's fascinating.
Wow. Well, that about wraps it for us this evening. Thank you very much to Joshua Wells for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. If I can, real quick before we end,
Yes.
follow me on Twitter.
Plug your things.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Joshua Wells WF. And if you can, check out Chikara's Action Arcade Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., which is about 4 p.m. in the UK.
I think so, yeah.
On IWTV and Chikaratopia. You can use the code ARCADE to get 5 days free for IWTV, and you can check out the episodes you've missed.
And as well you should, because there's a lot of good stuff on that website.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. FM Lute, I think they're starting to get some more UK stuff. They just got Sendai Girls. There's a lot of great stuff on IWTV, so check that out.
And we are going to raid John Robertson,
Let's do it.
is a lovely man who is apparently playing Metal Slug 2, but he'll probably mostly just be yelling at his camera. So everyone, go tell him we said hello. Love you very much. I'll probably be on tomorrow doing what, I don't know. We're going to have Raven Creed on at some point. We just don't know when yet. And I've got some other people I'm going to ask as well. I'm going to try and get some of the people from before back. And yeah, so I mean, all the links are below the screen. Ginger Pimpernel on Twitter. Just follow me there and I'll keep you updated as to what's happening. Catch you later. Bye!
See you guys!